Dear students, welcome to our online classes. I am Ravi Kumar KR, lecturer in Computer Science, JSI PU College, Mysore. Students, let us start our session with new concept, that is approaches to problem solving. Now, the meaning of the concept is that before we getting into program or before we start writing a program, how do we approach the problem? How do we analyze the problem? That's what we are going to learn here. Under this, we have three techniques, that is, one is top-down design, one is top-down design, second one is bottom-up design, next one is stepwise refinement. Stepwise refinement. So there are three techniques under approaches to problem solving. Now let us learn the definition of all these things one by one. Top down design, it is a process of dividing main program into sub program or sub problem and further sub problem can be divided into sub problem till we can implement this sub problem into a program statement. So this is top down design. This is a process of dividing main program or main problem. So given one problem or a program, that we have to divide into sub problems or sub programs. So this is one stage. Again, still after dividing into one stage, in next level again divide the sub program further into another sub problem or sub program. This process will continue till we can implement this sub program or problem into a program statement. So this is nothing but, so we have to keep dividing the main problem or main program into sub program, again further into sub program, till we can convert this program into program statement. This top down design it can be viewed as a tree structure, For example, this is a main program A will be divided into sub programs B, C, D, and again this B will be subdivided into two sub program or two sub problems. Similarly, with C is one program and D can have another two sub program. So here now here we are connecting like this. This is one level. Here this program A or the problem A will be divided into three sub programs, and again this problem B will be divided into another two sub programs. again C into another subprogram G, and D into another two subprograms H and I. So this is how we can view this top-down design as a tree structure. Here this is the main program or a main problem divided into sub-problems, and again this again further will be subdivided into sub-problems. So this process will continue as long as convert these sub problems into a program statement. So this is top down design. Advantages of top down design. First one is it imitates human tendency to outline the given problem first, and then getting into program problem in detail. And second advantage is that subproblems at each level will take place parallelly, in parallel. Next is that it is, if we follow this top down design, it is easy for programmer to develop or design a solution with minimum number of errors. This top down design, it can be viewed as a tree structure. So here the example shows the tree structure from A, B, C, D are the subprograms or subproblems. Again B will be divided into two subproblems and so on. So this is, we can view as a tree structure. Any problem given to us, human beings will outline the given problem first, then we getting into the problems in detail. That's what we are doing in this designing method. Next one is, at each and every, this is one level and this is another level. So at each and every level, all sub problems or subprograms will be taking place, or at each and every stage all the subprograms are happening or will take place in parallel. Next one is, suppose if we follow this design technique, top down design technique, it is easy for a programmer or developer to develop a software, and he can design it and you can have a solution to a problem with minimum number of errors. Now let us see another example for top down design. Example of temperature conversion. This is the problem given, or this is an example. Here we have to convert given temperature into Fahrenheit or into centigrade. So here at the first stage we have to divide this into sub-problem. Fahrenheit to centigrade, and second method is from centigrade to Fahrenheit. This is the problem, temperature conversion. We can have two steps here. One is Fahrenheit to centigrade and centigrade to Fahrenheit. So this is one level. This is one level. In next level, we have to write a solution to convert Fahrenheit to centigrade. Here we have to input Fahrenheit, then we have to apply formula to convert Fahrenheit into centigrade. So again we are dividing this problem or this sub-problem into sub-problems. Like one is input section, second one is processing, is nothing but applying formula. Second step is applying formula. Next again here is to output the result. Here is output. So this subprogram is divided into three subprograms. Here, and on the other side again centigrade to Fahrenheit. Here we have to again dividing into three sections or three subproblems, like one for input, second one is processing, nothing but applying formula. Next one is output section or output subproblem. And in here we have processing, we have to write the formula. So this is a formula, F equals to 9 by 5 into C plus 32. So here again these three are sub problems. Of this sub problem. So this is how we can view a top-down design as a tree structure. The main problem given is temperature conversion. So here we can have, there are two steps or we can have two methods. One is conversion from Fahrenheit to centigrade or from centigrade to Fahrenheit. Now this is the sub problem. Again we can divide into three sections here or three sub problems. One is input section. Here input section, as we have to convert from Fahrenheit to centigrade, we have to input Fahrenheit here. We have to input Fahrenheit and we have to find out centigrade with the formula, and we have to print centigrade here. And similarly centigrade to Fahrenheit conversion, here we have to input centigrade and we have to find out Fahrenheit by applying formula. Then we have to print the result or we have to print the Fahrenheit. So this is a simple example for top-down design. Now let us look into another technique, that is bottom-up design. Next one is bottom-up design. Bottom-up design. The bottom-up design is nothing but a process of, it is a process of identifying existing modules or modules to be constructed as a first step. And second step, once the modules are identified or to be constructed is identified with existing system, we have to attempt is made to integrate these modules into a main problem or a main program. So here the first step is identifying the modules, existing modules or modules to be constructed. That is the first step. And after that, we have to integrate or we have to combine these modules into or we have to integrate into the main problem or to the main program, or in other words, selecting existing module or components and integrate into final product or final program. So this is same thing what I have explained in step 2, we have written in different way. Here first step is process of identifying a small modules with the existing system, with the available system. Then after that we have to work on those modules. Then finally we have to integrate this into main program. And here modules can be a components and these components can be integrated into final product. Next point is very good example for this, learning a language. Learning a language. And second example is to construct a building. Now you can look into the example of learning a language. If you want to learn any of the language, any language in general, we will start with alphabets or some grammar. Then we will start learning alphabet, then we will learn some words, then framing a sentence, and process goes on till we get a complete knowledge of a language. Another example is to construct a building. In order to construct a building, as all of you know that first step is to lay a foundation. The work starts with foundation. That is the one module. After foundation, so then construction of walls, then roofing, and so on. And C++ language, it is based on bottom-up design. Next one is disadvantage of bottom-up design is that assumptions that lower level module can be integrated into main problem or main program. So, but it is in reality it is a rare case. So the assumption what we made here in the definition, small modules, existing modules can be integrated into main problem or main module. That is now that assumption in reality it is not possible, or it is a very rare case. That means that all the modules at lower level, it may not fit into or it may not go into the main problem or main program. So that is the disadvantage of bottom-up design. In bottom-up design, we are start working from lower modules or existing modules or with existing component. Then we will try to implement or integrate those modules, lower level modules, into the main program, and in reality it is a rare case. Next we move on to one more technique, that is stepwise refinement. Stepwise refinement. The stepwise refinement is a process of breaking down main problem at each and every level to get a computer solution. It is nothing but a process of breaking down the main problem at each and every level or at each and every stage to get a computer solution. So now we can view this as in the diagram. This is a general problem and we can view this as three modules. We can divide this into three sub-problems or sub-programs or modules. This is input and this is output, and here is processing or algorithm or program. So this is the main general problem and we are dividing into three sub-modules. This sub-problem which can be divided into and this is we are dividing into three sub-problems. So this is sub-task 1, sub-task 2, sub-task 3. At one level, at first level, we have divided this general problem into three sub-problems, and in the second level the main processing part or this is the body of algorithm we have divided into three sub-tasks or sub-problems. Again further it can be divided into number of sub-tasks like so here this can be subtask 1.1, this is 1.2 and this is 2.1, or this can be 3.1 and 3.2. This is how we represent the stepwise refinement, taking small modules, then defining it clearly, adding additional requirements, and other informations at each level until it is very clear. That is what the diagram says. Here, this divided in generic view will be divided into 3 sub-problems, and here we have divided this into 3 sub-tasks, again 2 sub-problems. So this process continue as long as we are getting a clear picture or until we get a clear information about this module. And not only that, it is we can also add another information at each and every module in order to get a result. And again, one of the main drawback of this design is that the lower modules may not be fit into, or it cannot be integrated into main program. It may not meet the requirement of the final result. And one more example for this is to find out a grade of a student in a class. See, if you want to find out grade of a student in a class, normally the first step is we have to collect all the information, that is the input section. In the input section, we have to gather information like details of a student and marks obtained by a student in a particular test or an examination. As a second step, we have to process it or find out the sum and average, and we have to find out the average with certain conditions. And finally, in the next step, we have to output the result, or we have to output a grade of a student. That is also an example for this stepwise refinement. Thank you very much.